And here we are back on the channel with another video. And first off, I want to mention about this wind. We have a pretty darn good wind going here. I don't know how fast it's going, but it's windy. And so I want to mention that because hopefully you're not having a problem hearing me. And the wind tends to want to knock me around here. Luckily, I'm on a heavy bike, the Ariel Rider Grizzly. So today I want to talk about the best e-bikes out there for around $1,000. It could be a little bit more, say even up as high as 11 or 12, but we're trying to keep as close to $1,000 as possible. And so what got me thinking about this more is that a friend of mine was asking me, or was mentioning, I should say, about my bike, this one here, the Grizzly, and he'd like this bike, but it's out of his price range right now. You know, he can't afford to pay $3,300. So it got me thinking, well, you know, if you have a budget of around $1,000, which he says he could probably do better on $1,000, what could you get out there? You know, so what's out there? Probably trying to find a fat tire bike if possible. So I started thinking about possibilities, and so I did some looking up, and so here's some. Hopefully I can remember these off the top of my head, but there's one. First one I'm going to mention is, and now I don't know all the specifics on these bikes, so you might want to do some further research into them, but I'll let you know the ones I come up with. So one of them was called Espin. That's E-S-P-I-N. Nesta is the name of the bike. Espin is the company. Nesta, N-E-S-T-A, is the bike. You might want to check that one out. Anybody that's looking for a bike in the budget price of around $1,000. This bike is regularly listed at $1,699, and it said on their site, when I was doing some searching, it said that it's currently on sale for $1,099. That's $600 off. So that might be one right there. Like I say, you'd have to look at all the specs and see if it fits a bike to your liking, but if somebody is looking for a bike in that range of price, you know, and that's what they can afford to pay, you might want to take a peek at that one. That one caught my eye when I saw that. So that's one. Another one is called the Ebike. That's H-E-Y-B-I-K-E, Mars, M-A-R-S. And that one is going for, I believe it was $1,099. So that's another one that's right close to $1,000, just a little bit over. And another one is one that is sold at Best Buy, and that's where I seen the good deal, is one called Swift, S-W or S-F-T, I think, S-W-F-T I think it is. And that one, Swift Zip, Z-I-P or Z-I-P, e-bike. Look that one up at Best Buy. It's currently going for $10.99, regular $14.99. The one thing I did notice on that one, I believe it was a 500 watt motor, but the one thing I noticed on that bike, it said the top speed, I believe, was 20 miles an hour. So that's what you're going to get on that one. But I really like that one. It's the scrambler style, like this Grizzly here. And that one is a nice, I like that one. So that's another one. Let's see, there was then we're coming up to the ones that are more popular as we hit that wind. And one of them is the Engwe. That's ENGWE EP2 Pro. EP, the number 2, PRO. Check that one out. That one is going for $1049. So that one's just about $50 or $49 over the 1,000. And then all of these bikes, as far as I know, although you might want to double check on the Best Buy one, but I believe it is too. I believe they're all free shipping, which is another thing you'd want to get if you can get it, because that shipping is going to cost you a chunk of your bike money. If you've only got about $1,000 to spend, you don't want to be spending $200 or $300 of that $1,000 on shipping. The other benefit to being a benefit here for my friend in Oregon here is that we don't have any sales tax. So if he sees a price, or anyone for that matter sees a price of $1,000, you pay $1,000. So that's one of the neat things about here in Oregon as compared to California. I believe theirs is 13%, which is quite a bit. So we do have that going for us here in Oregon. And there's one more bike that I haven't mentioned yet that is the most popular one, I think, in the budget line, and it's getting more and more popular, and that's the electric. That's LECTRIC XP 3.0 is the one that is $9.99. Of course, I don't know if you can still buy the 2.0 or the 3.0 has replaced the 2.0. I'm not positive on that one, so you might want to look at that. But that bike is $9.99, and that's a folding bike, as is the Engwe. And but for $9.99, you know, if a person doesn't have, I mean, even $9.99, I shouldn't say don't have a lot to spend, because even $999, let's face it, that's a lot of money when a lot of us are on tight budgets. But if you're looking to get an e-bike though, and you want to pay and you want to not pay, you know, a fortune to get one, that would be one that you could get without being excessive in having to pay a lot of money. So those are some of the ones that 5 or 6 that I came up with. I think that's 5 maybe. And I'm wondering if anyone out there has any ideas to help out some of the other folks that are looking for bikes that are more in a lesser budget, say in the $1,000 range. Maybe you have an idea of a bike, or maybe you have a bike yourself that is not overly expensive, that would fit into this line of $1,000 range. I know there's a lot of people out there that are looking for bikes that aren't, you know, going to cost them an arm and a leg, as they say. So that would be appreciated if you know any bikes that are in that range. We'll say even up to as high as $1,200, but somewhere in right close to that $1,000, if you can stay in that range. Is there anything else out there that's that you may know of that can help some folks out that are looking for bikes that are a little bit less expensive? I mean, the other route I suppose you could go is find a good used bike, possibly, but when you do that though, you don't know for sure what you're buying into. I mean, the concern I would have right off the top is the battery. You know, you don't know how much life is left in the battery when you buy a used one. You have no idea, and you don't want to pay out $1,000 and then find out your $500 battery for that bike, you know, a month later is dead, you know, and you need to replace the battery. So I think I'd be a little careful personally in buying a used bike, but that's why I would be leery. Otherwise, that would be a good way to go too, I suppose. You know, you get a good deal on something. But I definitely look at that S-Pin just for the fact that it's a regular price is $16.99. So I'm wondering, for that $16.99, I mean, I wonder what they're offering, you know, in that bike. So taking it down to $10.99, that's worth looking into. There may be some bikes out there too that are not fat tire bikes that you might be able to get in that $1,000 range. But there's also something I wanted to mention that I just noticed today, and that is Ride One Up. If you're familiar with at all with that name, Ride One Up, they make several bikes, e-bikes. I've seen one, Ride One Up. I was talking to a guy one day that had one of those, and he just loved his bike. I think it only had like a 250 watt motor, but you know, he was talking highly of that bike. Anyway, Ride One Up now has a new bike, it looks like, coming soon, but they don't give you too many details yet, so it's kind of like the secret. And I believe it's going to be more like the Scrambler style, like more like this Grizzly. I don't know if it's a two-motor setup or anything like that. I saw a dark picture of it, and that's all. Somebody getting on one in the nighttime, and had the big headlight on the front like the Grizzly. So I'm thinking it's going to be this style of bike. So I want to keep my eye on that one and see what that is. It's piqued my interest there. So I'm going to keep an eye out for Ride One Up. Something is coming in the future from them, and that'll be interesting. So that's going to do it for this video here on the channel. And like I say, if you've got any ideas on bikes that are more budget priced, around the $1,000 range, or maybe up to $1,200, let's say, squeeze a couple in there that are just above, like I did, because it's pretty hard to hit right on $999 or $1,000. So if you have any ideas on bikes that are possibly in that range, hit us up on the comments and let us know, and then that'll help my friend as well, Jose, as well as some other folks out there that are looking for more budget priced e-bikes. So that's going to do it for this video. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We always appreciate newcomers joining on to our channel. Also, if you like this video, hit that like button. And if you want to be notified as to when the next video comes up on the channel, go ahead and hit that notification bell. So that's going to do it for this video, and until next time, take care.